Hey friends, welcome back to the training trail. I figured out I shouldn't be introducing myself over and over again. So yeah, I'm just assuming that you've already listened to the podcast. You already know about Expansion Era. You've already been going on the other emails. Hopefully that's the right crowd. And we're going to be talking about that next step to expand your capacity as a leader. We're going to cultivate where we are with others in mind, specifically a team. And then we're going to accelerate. We've got to accelerate our leadership journey. We've got to be learning and leveling up much more intently and intensely than other people. And so we've got to be putting in the future work now, and that's how we accelerate. So I actually wrote some notes on this, and I want to lead in with it. Obviously, I'm so thankful that you chose to stick it out on the trail. Thank you. This is really more conversational. It's me just passionately sharing leadership insights and strategies that are going to give you tools, frameworks for your own leadership journey. This is easily going to be my favorite checkpoint because it's all about accelerating your leadership. And we know it's important. We know it's fun. But over time, you're going to realize the motivation to accelerate is out of necessity. When you begin to see what's going on in the next phase and you really feel it at a visceral level, you realize, oh no, I really need to be leveling up because things are going to be picking up. And that is the heart behind the accelerator. Accelerate your leadership journey with a future-focused agenda. And I'm going to share a framework with you called the Leadership Accelerator. And the Leadership Accelerator is really this shift from leadership productivity to leadership preparedness. A lot of people, they kind of give themselves a pat on the back because they feel productive, but they're actually just preoccupied with where they are instead of actually preparing for what's coming up next. So I want you to think about it this way. Being productive absolutely is a good thing, but in this framework, it's not going to be the main thing because hopefully you've already got self-leadership down. So you're ready to level up. And the difference between just feeling productive in one stage of your life and actually getting prepared for the future in the next stage is going to be how much you accelerate that leadership journey. Okay? And the accelerator that we're talking about here, it's not going to make you a millionaire overnight, but it will accelerate your focus. And that's what we need. We've got to get focused. And not just mildly focused. We've got to get wildly future focused in order to accelerate our leadership journey. And the way we do that is we actually take the work we're currently doing and we put it in perspective of the bigger work that still needs to get done. So if you're kind of like on Google Maps and you zoom in really, really tight and you're like, wow, my house is so big. And then you start zooming out and you start seeing, wow, my house got smaller. It's really small. Oh my goodness, there's so much more territory out there. That's the perspective shift that we're making. And that actually helps you accelerate your work. You're like, wow, I've done some fun things. I've got some cool projects, but there's so much more that's in front of us. So let's get ready for it. For example, I'm going to use another example. You got these 2 points of view. Okay. You got these 2 points of view. Let's say you have 24 hours to travel. You have 24 hours to travel. And, right there on the AB side, my left, I'm assuming it's your left too. That's your commute from home to work and back. And it only takes you maybe 20, 25 minutes to get home and back or whatever. And let's say you had 24 hours to get from point A to point B. Man, you would take your time. You would sleep in. You'd probably make a coffee. You would scroll on social media. and then you would leisurely make a few errands. I mean, literally, you have 24 hours just to get 20 minutes worth accomplished. Okay, now in that same 24-hour period, let's say that your new journey is going to be getting from your house to another continent. Go to another hemisphere, go to a whole nother global city, and you're going to realize, oh man, I only have 24 hours to get there. I've got to book it. I've got to put the pedal to the metal. I've got to be really accelerating my travel here. And that is the mindset that we need to have as future-focused leaders. We're putting things in perspective of the future work that still needs to get accomplished. And that doesn't mean that we're going to overwhelm ourselves or we're just going to, commit to soul-draining work. But it is that perspective that actually helps us eliminate all of the lesser things that can come up. It'll really defend us from a lot of distractions. And so that's how we actually throttle faster and farther based on the work we will not tolerate. And that's what this is coming down to. How much goofiness are you willing to tolerate? Are you just going to tolerate I think I'll try that, and I'll take a break, and I'll take a nap, and I'll talk to my friend, and I'm going to watch a movie, I mean, for real, don't assume that your 1 year plan will only take 1 year. Have you ever thought about that? There's a lot of work involved. There's a lot of unexpected variables. There's going to be challenges. There's going to be roadblocks. You're going to have to outlast the learning curve. How are you going to put all that in? You've got to have a future focus, and that mindset shift is going to accelerate the way you work. Now, my hope is that you're not just mildly focused this year. My hope is that you become wildly future focused. And the way we get there is by shifting our focus from what's going on next week to what needs to happen to accomplish our life's work. So make that shift. I'm not just thinking about next week. I'm thinking about my life's work. So important. Man, that's good. I'm feeling that right now. Don't just think about next week. Get going on the bigger objectives now. Now, I hope this begins to simplify your view and intensify your willingness to work. Man, you're willing to put in the work. You're willing to level up. You're willing to learn. You're willing to sharpen the saw, sharpen the blade, so to speak. So when you show up, you're cutting through all of the minutia, all of the challenges that would bog you down. You're not putting up with lesser things. You're actually showing up to do your best work and go after those bigger picture objectives. And that's why we have to accelerate away from the dysfunctions, away from the distractions, away from all of the nuisances, right? And we do that by initiating. We've got to initiate those strategic goals sooner than we think are necessary. We say, yeah, I've got some big things ahead of me, but that's a few years from now. Really? Do you think that's really a few years away? Or should you be working on it yesterday? Because it's that kind of procrastination. It's that kind of avoidance that's going to slow you down. And it's going to keep you from having a major advantage in your leadership journey. And it really will help you make better decisions about the tactical routes you go on a weekly and even daily basis. You're saying, hey, I just need to focus on this other stuff. And that's what this is about. Learn how to accelerate your leadership journey with clarity and urgency. Clarity and urgency. Now, if you only have clarity, meaning you know specifically where you're going and what it's going to look like, you know the steps, but you don't have urgency, that's procrastination. Okay? Maybe worse. I don't know. Next, if you have urgency but not clarity, you're going to get really scared and you're going to be like, I don't know what to do next. Oh, I got to try everything. You're going to get worked, overworked, burnt out. It's not going to be fun. Definitely not good. When you put those two together, you say, no, I am confident. I know what I need to be working on, and I'm matching it with action. I'm putting action to that plan. That's going to help you accelerate. Okay, next, I am going to give you a invitation to join this Future Focus community. And I'm so excited about it because it is really helping pioneering leaders like you and I to make real progress in all directions of our life at the same time. We're not procrastinating and we're not tolerating all of those distractions we talked about, but we're actually going for it on a year-by-year basis. And so that's why I want to introduce you to your next step. If you've enjoyed this email trail, then you need to get in the course. The course is much more developed, and it's going to give you tools. It's going to give you strategies to overcome the major roadblocks and help you really get into the leadership capacity that you've been wanting and needing for a long time. So thank you so much. I'm going to pause here and we'll jump right back in and talk about Pioneer the Year.